We're live.
Yes, we're live and think we can start. People can hop in.
Mhm.
Uh, okay, greetings to you all. And some people are coming in. I am going to say hi. Please say hi to us and tell us that you can hear us. So, greetings to all beautiful people around the globe. Here is Skedar, the coach. Amazing coach. Thank you so much, Sku, for tuning in and Tringo. So, you just landed on Mina B. Mulat's social media marketing page on this giant platform called Facebook. On this page, you can sign up to start your journey as a business owner. You can also ask questions and send message. I also invited ordinary people around the globe who just make a decision to be a business owner. Like so many thousands of people around the globe, I have this amazing, phenomenal woman named Deborah who did not doubt herself. She's here to ask you, are you doubting? Are you busy doubting yourself? Because she said, she did not say, I cannot do it. She did not say, I'm too old to do it. She did not say that I cannot fit. All she said was, give me the information, I will digest it, I will make it work for myself. Here is Dave. Welcome, Dave. Thank you so
Thank
much. An
you.
honor having you. Can you tell us who Dave is and we can go from there?
All right. My name is Deborah. First of all, I'm a child of God. I am a mother of six, a grandmother of 17, soon to be a grandmother of 18, and a great grandmother of five. And I'm a very successful online business owner.
Thank you so much for telling us. It's very exciting, Dave. How did you come across about this business and what inspires you to join us?
Well, I don't know if I was really looking for a business when I found this business. I had been laid off my job of many years. I'm an accountant by trade. And when I get laid off, I started looking for work. I started, taking my resume out and looking for work. And it wasn't long that I came to the realization that people do not want to hire anybody over the age of 60. It's very expensive for businesses to train people, and it doesn't matter what your education level is and what your experience it is. Every business is different and they have a different way of doing things. So there's a training process, and it's expensive for companies to do that. So I realized, that nobody wants to hire anybody over the age of 60. They want people that are younger that they can keep for 20 or 30 years. So I thought, I've got to do something. I just can't sit back and take a chance on losing everything that I worked all my life for. And so I started looking online. And I don't know if I was really looking for a business or if I was just looking for a way of earning an income. But anyways, I saw a lot of crappy things out there. But when I came across this business, it went across my business page or across my Facebook page quite a few times before I actually clicked on it. And when I finally clicked on it and went to the information session, it was like, oh my gosh, this will work. This is a business that will work. I don't know how it's going to work or how long it's going to take, but it's a business. And being an accountant, I know it wasn't a get rich quick scheme. And that's one of the things I liked about it. I knew it was going to take me time to build it up to where I was going to have an income coming in. And I liked that about it because I thought, well, when I started this business, I'll give myself 5 years to make $5,000 a month that I can sustain myself, that I can afford to pay my bills and, maybe take a trip once a year. And I thought, I can do this. Like, I can do this. I don't know how because I don't know how to put a picture on Facebook, but I can do this because I can learn, right? And so I joined the business and I became an online business owner. And then the training began. And then it was like, oh my gosh, thank God I had a grandson that knew computers inside and out. And I said, Daisy, honey, you got to help grandma. I don't know how to put a picture on Facebook. And he said, okay, grandma. So he showed me how to do it. And then he said, grandma, you can learn anything on the computer. You just have to Google it. Google, like, what is Google, right? So anyways, he told me what it was. And he said, you just type your question in. How do I put a picture on Facebook Question mark, just like you were asking me. And I said, okay, I can do that. So anyways, 2 days, I kept putting that same question in, same question in, same question in. Even though he had told me the day before how to do it, it was, I still need some guidance here. So anyways, I put it in, and I really thought, I really believed, I mean, I worked on a computer 12 to 14 hours a day doing database programs, you know, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, those type of programs. I never learned social media or the lingo or anything to go with it, right? And all that I was getting was these YouTube things. And I said, I don't even know what that is. So anyways, I finally called him. I said, Casey, honey, this isn't working for Grandma. And he said, well, what are you doing? And I told him, and he said, well, what are you seeing? And I said, all that's coming up is this YouTube things. I click on it, and I don't know what it is. Of course, on YouTube, an ad comes up first. So that's all I was seeing. And I was saying, that's not what it is. I thought somebody would actually type in there and say, hi, Deborah, this is what you do. That's what I was expecting. And so anyways, he said, no, Grandma, that's your answer. Like, you know, he told me you had to skip through the ad in the beginning, and then your answer will come on. It's video based. And I said, oh my gosh, like this is easy, you know? And then it was, well, it doesn't look like my computer screen. So I thought, this still doesn't work for me. Maybe I have to say a certain thing. So I said, Casey, honey, this just doesn't look like mine. He said, and then he explained to me, well, Grandma, there's all kinds of different computers out there. You know, you have your Mac, you have your PCs, and you have your different ones. You have HPs, you have Acers, you have all these different kinds of ones, and they all look a little bit different, but they're basically the same. So what you do, you watch it, you stop it, and then you go to yours and find what it's talking about. It may not be exactly the same, but it will be very similar, and you'll be able to do it. So I said, okay. So that's how I learned computer and everything I did. And today I still Google. Google's my best friend. And I still Google things because I'm still not real tech savvy, right? But I learned the business, and I learned to do what I have to do. And if there's something new that comes out that I have to learn, I'll do that too, right?
Well, very, very, very good, I mean, explanation of what the process was, you know, because so many people out there, as I introduced it, it's also our theme today is, are you doubting? Are you busy doubting yourself? Because so many people out there are like, you know, tech savvy than I am, or in so many people. And spend so many hours on social media, you know, liking and commenting and doing a lot of things. So many people out there are spending hours in different softwares. They know the how, but they did not take action. So this computer issue was one of the challenge you come across. But there are people who said, I can't do this business because I don't fit in. They say, I am too busy, or they say, I can't do what you do because it's hard for me to go out on social media. How did you come across all those, I mean, challenges? How did you get through them? And what would be your answer for those people who asked this?
You know what? It depends. How bad do you want a change of life? How bad do you want to be home with your family? How, you know, what is your why? And I tell people, stop thinking of what if it doesn't work. Start thinking about what if it does, right? What if it does work? And, you know, you really have to really, you know, stop and think, ask yourself the question, where am I going to be in 5 years from today if I don't make a change in my life? Where am I going to be? And where do I want to be in 5 years, right? And what if I start an online business and it takes me 5 years to be able to not have to work for somebody else ever again, and I can be my own boss, and I can be with my children when I want to be with my children. I can wake up in the morning when I want to wake up, and I can go on vacation when I want to go on vacation. I can eat when I want to eat, and I can take a day off when I want to take a day off. ask your question, like those questions to your people, because there's people every day that, they work for somebody. So when you work for somebody, that person that you work for tells you what time you get up in the morning because you have to be to work at a certain time of day. That person tells you when you can have a break in the day. That person tells you when you can go to the bathroom in the daytime. That person tells you when you can have lunch. So if you're hungry, well, too bad for you because you don't have a break until this time and then you can have a snack or your lunch. That person tells you what time you can go home and be with your family at night. That person tells you what time to go to bed at night because you've got to be up at a certain time in the morning. That person tells you when you can take a day off, when you can go to your child's recital or your child's basketball game. That person tells you when and where you're going on vacation. Because some people get a paid vacation, which is great, but that paid vacation may only be able to pay their expenses those 2 weeks that they're off, or the week, or however many days they get off, right? Or you may get no paid vacation. So that means if you don't have money saved, which is very hard today to save money, it's, then you're not going very far. You may be able to get a tent and go to your backyard and pretend you're on vacation. But, and that's what we had to do when my kids were growing up. We didn't have the money to go on vacation. We had 6 children, and we lived on $30,000 a year back then on the east coast of Canada. The money wasn't big. We both had jobs, and, we both worked all the time, but we had no extra, We kept our kids in sports, and, if we wanted a vacation, you grabbed a tent and went to the back bush. That's a vacation, right? So when you work for somebody else, that's what happens. And, now I work for myself, and I, because of the situation in the world today, I can't pick up and do what I was doing. But before, if I get lonesome for my kids, I could jump a plane and go see them. And it didn't matter what part of the country they were in. I could do it, and without a blinking of an eye. And even when I was working full time, if something had to happen, because I was living in Alberta, Canada, if something had to happen to a family member on the East Coast, I would have had to have permission to leave work to be able to go home. And would I get paid for that? Would I lose my job? Like, when you're working for somebody, they depend on you. You just can't say, oh, I'm going to the East Coast for a couple of weeks. I'll see you. That doesn't happen, right? So, ask yourself, what do you want? Why doubt yourself? Because I never asked myself, what if it doesn't work? I kept saying to myself, what if it works? What if it works, right? And it wasn't get rich quick. I knew it was going to take time. So I put myself in a 5-year schedule, and I'm very successful today. And it was 4 years in February since I started this business.
I am so happy to hear that, because Dave is right now talking to me from Mexico.
Ah, you got somebody from Mexico talking to you?
No, I'm just saying.
I thought you were somebody chatting.
No, you are in Mexico right now. You used to be in Canada. Now you're living in the beautiful city, enjoying that culture, food, and different beach and beautiful weather. So this is what happened when you take a challenge for yourself and you made it happen. So I'm super happy. I just want to take a few minutes and say hi to our viewers, Jordanos, Abiyu, Murdia, Lydia, Roman, Emmy. Thank you so much for tuning. And those of you whom I don't see right now on my page, thank you so much for coming. And so Dave, you told us that all you have to say is ask yourself a question saying, what do you want in life? Which is very important. And you take action for that. I'm so grateful about that too. So, as I said, life is different. You're in Mexico. What else happened? What did you learn? What did you get? How did you describe it? Let's hear it from you.
Well, when I first started this business, of course, I struggled. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Life is going to have mountains and roadblocks, and no matter if you're making a lot of money or you don't have any money. Those roadblocks and mountains are always going to be there because, you know, we're going to have tribulation in this world, right? That is a given. We just have to learn to smile and be able to climb those mountains and to step over those stepping stones and those roadblocks. And we need to, you know, realize that getting discouraged or upset is not going to change the situation. So you might as well learn to have faith about your business, about your life, and move forward, right? I used to be afraid. When I first started this business, yeah, I had a lot of fear. I was afraid that, you know, I was going to mess up my computer. I was afraid that, you know, I was too old. Maybe I was, you know, not able to learn anymore. I was afraid that, that people are not just afraid of failure. They're afraid of success, right? They're afraid of things. So I had to get out of my own way and I had to start learning to live by faith, not fear. So as soon as I got to the realization, you know, this business will work. I never had that doubt in my mind. I always knew this business would work. And I always knew it was going to take time. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I was going to give it 110%. I was going into this full time because I'm a full believer. If you work 1 hour a day, you're going to accomplish 1 hour a day work. So I wanted a full-time business and I wanted something that was going to sustain the lifestyle that I wanted. And I don't want to curl up and die. A lot of people, you know, turn 65 years old and then they go off and they can't afford to travel. You know, whoever come up with the words golden years when you get older, they must have been on drugs because there's no such thing, right? Because most people, if you work for somebody else, if you're fortunate enough to have a company pension, well, you know, that'll pay your rent or your mortgage or, you know, that'll make you live so you have good food and stuff. But most people today don't have a mortgage or don't have a pension. They live on, you know, their very minimum old age security or their Canada pension. And I don't know about other countries, but in Canada, that don't pay your rent, let alone your food. So how is people going to survive? What's golden about that? There's no travel, you know, you've been out with people all your life because you worked with people. Now you're home sitting, twiddling your thumbs, like doing out in the garden. You can only, you know, rake your garden so many times a day and you can only watch so much on the boob tube and, you know, and it's mostly negative stuff. So, you know, what are you going to do? That's why so many people retire and then they die. Well, I'm not ready. I want to live to be 120 and I want to be healthy and I want to be in a warm climate. I don't want to wade the snow and the cold, you know, and I wanted that. So I had my picture of Mexico all over my house and I never forgot my why. On the days that I struggled and I had those roadblocks and mountains, I just looked at those pictures and said, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this, right? So, you know, the first step is your why. And I tell people, even when they are successful, please don't forget your why. Don't forget where you come from because every one of us are equal. We're all God's children. We're all equal, like on this earth. And just because I'm a successful online business owner, I'm no different than that person starting today. I'm exactly the same. I started the exact same way. I had the same struggles they're going through, you know, and it doesn't matter. When you work for people, you have struggles. When you own your own business, you have struggles. When you don't work at all, you have struggles. Like, it's life, right?
Yeah.
So you just smile, step over them, and learn to climb mountains, right? That's all you can do.
Nice. I like it. Thank you so much. So if someone come across to you and ask a question saying, what do you do? What's your business? How do you describe them? What do you tell them?
I tell them I'm a successful online business owner. And if they say to me, well, what's it about? Then I give them my business card or I let them scan my QR code. This morning we met people and I let them scan my QR code and they registered right then and there. And they were from California. And like, you know, I tell them, you know, I'd be doing you a disservice if I don't let you get as much information about this business as possible. And I want you to make your decision. I don't want to convince you to do this. This is a life-changing situation, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm living in Mexico because of my online business. My online business supports me 100%. That's it. That's all I have for supporting me, right? And so, I just tell them, watch the 90-minute information session. And if they say to me, well, I don't have time, well, this business isn't for you. It really doesn't matter what it's about, because if you don't have time for that 90-minute information session, you don't have time for the business. So, and it's not for everybody. That's okay. We're going to love them anyways.
Yeah.
Right? And if they say that, I just change the subject, because there's no sense of, you're not going to convince anybody. And I still, to this day, people say to me, oh, that won't work.
Mm.
You know what? I don't argue with them, and I don't say, well, I make a nice high 5-figure month income right now, every month. I don't tell them that. I just say to them, you're right. It's not going to work for you because you've already got your mind made up.
Yes.
Right? And, and then you just change the subject, because I will never convince anybody to do it. Nobody convinced me to do it. That was a decision I made on my own. I got the facts. I went to that 90-minute information session. I didn't just watch it once. I watched it over and over and over, because I'm calculating, and I'm getting everything, together. And there was nothing I could figure out how it wouldn't work. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but there was nothing could tell me that this would not work. And I mean, it's a proven fact. Look how many thousands of people it's working for. And the thing of it is, there's no competition in this business. It doesn't matter, if somebody registers today on your site and comes in under you, that's wonderful. And I am happy for everybody who starts this business, because it's a life changer. And
I mean, a difference on their life. So I said, compare, ask yourself this important question: what exactly you want? All right, my final question. If you are asked to fix something in your life, what would that be?
If I was going to fix something in my life, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with my life right now. But if I could fix something in my life, I would have all my children here with me all the time. And my grandchildren. Like, I would have them all right, that I could hug and kiss them every day.
That's beautiful. That's it. That's very important, because you are blessed to be surrounded by all those kids. And
yes. And it will happen again. And soon as the airlines open up for Canada to be able to come, I have a daughter and a son and a nephew and 3 grandchildren coming, and I cannot wait. So, because it's been 1.5 years since I've seen my children and grandchildren because of this situation.
Yes, I mean, it's for everybody.
It is what it is, but you got to stay protected, and because I'm going to live to be 120, so I don't want to push it. Right?
Yes, I mean, except that part of you, I mean, you're enjoying life and you're making money. You're just, what you wanted for yourself. So I'm so happy, Dave. Thank you so much for coming in. It's an honor. Everyone who's watching this, please go ahead and sign up today and start your journey. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We appreciate it. And thank you, Dave. It was an honor.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you. It was a blessing. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.